Chairman. Governor Raimondo, congratulations on your nomination. And let me just start by saying that, as I'm sure you are aware, in December, Congress allocated funds to NTIA to oversee a broadband grant program to connect underserved areas. It is vitally important that we close the digital divide in states like South Dakota and across America. However, the effectiveness of NTIA administering such a program is concerning given its history awarding broadband grants provided by the 2009 stimulus. Under the Obama-Biden administration, GAO concluded that NTIA had faced a number of challenges from staffing to adequate data on broadband availability, resulting in a largely ineffective program at the taxpayer's expense. What steps would you take to correct the mistakes of the past, and will you commit to me that NTIA will set up this program in a way that this new money only goes to areas that are completely unserved?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. First, let me say that as a governor of a state and having led through COVID, I have seen the truly devastating effects of that lack of broadband can have on people. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's how children can have their classes. It's how people can do telehealth and visit a doctor. It's how you can sign up to get a vaccine. So you have my strong commitment to work closely with you and other members of this committee to make sure that NTIA has strong leadership and that we execute on those grants as expeditiously as possible and with an eye towards making sure that everyone, tribal lands, rural, folks who live in a mountain range, has access to broadband, which is absolutely necessary. I will also say, this is an area where I hope we can have bipartisan agreement. I have heard from my Republican governor colleagues and Democratic governor colleagues all over the country saying, we need help on this. And so should I have the honor of serving as Commerce Secretary, I commit this will be a very top priority the minute I get into the job.
Thank you. Congress established a clear division of responsibility for spectrum management. The FCC is responsible for commercial spectrum, NTIA is responsible for federal government spectrum, and there have been a number of instances in the past when the FCC and NTIA's roles have come into conflict. How can we ensure that the FCC and NTIA work in partnership to address spectrum management issues that impact both federal and commercial entities? And do you support freeing up additional spectrum held by the federal government to support the needs of next generation wireless services?
Thank you for this question, and it's a topic that I have the opportunity to talk to a number of members of the committee on. Again, it gets back to having a strong NTIA with strong leadership, particularly as it relates to 5G. The race is on for 5G, and I want America to win and lead, and that requires spectrum. So yes, I do support finding additional publicly owned spectrum. And I think what we need to do, and the president has been clear, is we need to step back and have a national strategy on spectrum and look to make spectrum available from public and commercial uses so that we can move forward on broadband and 5G. And I commit to working with you on that and having leadership in the NTIA to do that.
Thank you. The livelihoods of farmers and ranchers in my state often depend on forecasting accuracy, so it's important that we find innovative ways to improve NOAA's capabilities when it comes to predicting weather. In last Congress, Senator Schatz and I introduced a bill called the Learning Excellence and Good Examples from New Developers, or LEGEND Act, got to have an acronym around here, which makes NOAA's current and future operational forecast models more accessible to outside experts, including scientists and engineers and academia, who can provide new insights to improve existing forecasting models. Do you believe it is important for NOAA to incorporate innovative approaches to weather forecasting from outside stakeholders?
Yes, I do. As I said to Senator Cantwell, the National Weather Service should be the gold standard. And by the way, I have a strong track record of embracing innovation and technology throughout my public and private sector career. So yes, I think we ought to be forward-leaning and embrace science and technology and innovation so we have the best there is to offer.
And would you commit to working with us to move that act through Congress, that legislation?
I will commit to working with you, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.